Hello my fellow fish fans. I'm going to do an update on the Discus tank. It has changed a little bit since the last time you saw it. So yeah, one of my goals is to do a better job of showing you guys my actual tanks. I do a lot of talking about fish, and for whatever reason I just don't find that I sit down and show you guys the tanks all that often, but this video did really well. The video that I did talking about my Discus and talking about the tank mates that I have in there with my Discus. So I thought I would go ahead and kind of talk you through what's in this tank and what's changed since the last time we saw it and what changes are coming. So if you didn't see my last video on this tank, I will try to remember to link it down below. Some of my favorite YouTubers do like updates on their tanks, and I think that's a really great idea. This tank has been getting a lot of love lately because the saltwater build is taking so much longer than I expected it to. And I've just finally feel like this is a proper display tank. So last time we checked in, I kind of ran you through what was in this tank. Since then, you might notice there's a new fish, and that is this neon blue Gourami. I love him. He's beautiful. Absolutely love him. He's been doing fine with the Discus. You may have seen him before. Ooh, I panicked him. You may have seen him before because he was in my quarantine tank in my freshwater quarantine video. I'll try to link that down below too if I remember to. But the biggest thing that's happened, so we got the tank mate. There's going to be more Discus coming. In fact, I kind of want to film a store tour for you guys because I talked to one of my many local fish stores. I am fortunate enough to have a lot of awesome local fish stores here. And the one where I bought my Discus from, I talked to them and they want me to do a store tour of their tanks. So I will probably be doing that when I go back to pick up at least one blue diamond. And then I can't quite figure out what I want to do for the other one because I want to have 5 Discus total in this tank. It's a 55-gallon. It's not huge. And Discus are a pretty penny, so I don't want to spend all of my money on Discus. But they have blue diamonds in, which is really great from Hans Discus. So I'm really stoked. I'm getting the quarantine tank ready. They should be ready to sell a little bit later on this week. That's another thing I really love about my local store is that they don't give you or sell you fish until they've been there long enough for them to make sure that they're not sick and everything. They run meds in all their saltwater tanks. I love this store. It's a great store. So some things that have changed since the last time. These plants, these lily plants that just came from bulbs that I got at like Petco or PetSmart, I'm not sure which, have just gotten huge. They grow like a new leaf every day and like then just keep growing. Over here I have another bulb plant. I think it's the onion. I'm not good with plants, you guys. I kind of just throw them in there. So this just sprouted, and it sprouted from some bulb that I didn't remember putting in the tank. But we also have, last time there was like a little piece of wood right here that had a nubius on it. I still have a nubius in the tank on that piece of wood, but there was a piece of wood right here that had a nubius on it, and I moved that over to my daughter's 10-gallon betta tank. If you guys haven't seen that video, it's super duper cute. It's my daughter's getting her very first aquarium in her bedroom. It's so precious. But I kind of stole some of the plants out of here, and I stole some of the media out of here to help cycle it a little bit quicker. So I took that piece of wood out, the little one that used to be right here, because I just wasn't crazy about it. And then I pulled some other plants as well. This plant is new as well. This is, I think it's Bacopa. I know there's going to be like planted tank guys, like the water box or whatever is going to correct me in the comments. By the way, I got a shout out from the water box, so thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I think one of the things I love about YouTube is the fish keeping community and how everyone just supports each other. So thank you for that. So I think this is Bacopa right here. I have no idea if this will do well in the high temperature because the Discus tank is 84 degrees, so we'll see what happens. And then my sword, my Amazon sword, which I had bought immerse grown, is starting to melt back. You can see that leaf looks really sad, and I'm starting to get some new submerged grown leaves down there, so that's really good. I can't remember if the wisteria was in the tank. I think it was last time I filmed, and then I also added some anacris, which I'm told is illegal in some places. Both wisteria and anacris are really, really great plants in my opinion, or at least in my previous experience. They just grow super fast, but for some strange reason, they're not doing well. And I don't know, the anacris, I don't know if something is eating it, or they do keep getting uprooted, but that's fine because they can also be floating plants. I don't know if something's eating it or if it's just the temperature of the discus tank. When I was growing it before, I was growing it in really hard water. This tank is run on RODI water. You don't have to use RODI water for discus, guys. I just do because the water situation in my house is really bad. Not because you have to for discus, but I don't know if that's why it's not looking so great. But yeah, oh, and this, I think this wasn't here before. This is a rosette sword, which I've never done before, but I'm told it's a really good mid-ground plant, so we'll see what happens. All of this stuff is supposed to be really, really easy going. So that's the discus tank right now. I've just kind of been testing the water, and when I get 20 parts per million nitrate, I try to keep them under 10 really in this tank, but I'm trying to keep them a little higher because some of the plants were kind of struggling a little bit. So I don't let it get above 20 parts per million of nitrate, but I test your water, you guys. All the time that you're spending doing water changes, instead spend that time doing a water test with a water test kit, because a lot of times what will end up happening is you'll test the water and then you'll realize that you don't actually need to do a water change, and you're just wasting water, wasting time, wasting your energy, and sometimes you'll be over changing water, and your plants will be struggling. Alternatively, you may find that you're not changing enough water, and you're just not going to know that if you don't test your water. So Sundays are water test kit day. I test the water at that point. Started adding a little bit more fertilizer to the tank as I've added more plants. And for fertilizer, I'm just using Seachem Flourish. I don't know if I'm too crazy about it though, so I'd love to hear from you guys if you've ever used any other fertilizer. I know Easy Green is really, really popular, and what is the other one? API Leaf Zone, I think, is the other liquid fertilizer. I would love to hear from you guys, because there are root tabs underneath the sword plants. I make sure that there's root tabs there, and then I just use the Seachem Flourish. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I would like this tank to grow more. And of course, I think I'm putting a little bit too much pressure on my fertilizer, because the light is very low. It's a very, very low light. These are just T8 bulbs. And so considering that I'm running T8s, and I don't remember the last time I changed the bulbs, this is a lot of growth. This is actually pretty impressive, and the temperature is 84 degrees, and it's really soft water. The plants actually look pretty decent, all things considered. I just wish that they would grow a little more, so we'll kind of see what happens. Interestingly, I moved some wisteria over to my daughter's betta tank, which is a lower temperature, and it started growing much faster. So I don't know if it just struggles in this temp. I don't know. I just don't know, you guys. But big, exciting changes. We'll be getting some more discus over here. I'd love to hear from you guys if you're familiar with discus, and if you're not, I'll post pictures. I'm trying to decide what I want to do for my 5th discus. I was considering doing a pair of blue diamonds. I still definitely want to get at least one blue diamond. I got a gift card for Mother's Day, so I'm getting my discus with it. I still want to get at least one blue diamond, but I am also considering either doing a second blue diamond, which is what I had originally planned on doing, or doing a red Marlboro. I cannot pronounce that word, but you know, the solid red one. But then the guy at the fish store was like, oh, get a German Wonder. And the German Wonders don't look like much of anything as juveniles, but he showed me a picture of what it will look like as an adult, and it's tempting, I have to tell you. So yeah, trying to decide what I want to do for the 5th one. And then I also wanted to ask you guys, this is the first Gourami that I've ever had, and has anyone kept a neon blue with a flame Gourami in a 55-gallon tank? I know it's not ideal to do it in a smaller system, but I'm curious if anyone's done it in a system this size and had success with it. That is a male. by the way. So I don't know. But I'd love to hear that. And then I'm also considering, they had some German blue rams that I was considering adding down the road, not immediately, but eventually. If you are new around here, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and YouTube has changed things. So if you want to make sure that you never ever miss a video, you need to hit the bell next to the subscribe button, and then you also need to say, always get notifications, because I don't know, YouTube's constantly changing. So if you want to make sure that you always get notifications, be sure to hit that. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any suggestions for plant stuff or anything like that, and which discus you like the best to get next. And also, if you guys have not yet checked out, down below is the Teespring campaign, teespring.com/fishfan. You can get yourself your fishfan t-shirt that I created myself. I'm pretty proud of it. That helps support the channel and make it sustainable. You don't have to buy it or anything, but if you do, I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.